Okay, in today's video, we'll analyze the previous 5 years GK and current affairs questions of MPSC LDA. We'll also explain what these trends means for your preparation so you can study smarter instead of studying everything equally. Instead of looking at 5 papers separately, I decided to combine them and find out what MPSC has been constantly asking over the years. Because one year's paper can be random, but when the same subject keeps appearing again and again, that's where the real patterns begin to emerge. One important note before we begin: these papers are based on the old syllabus. The older paper used to split nearly into 75 marks of English and 75 marks of general awareness and aptitude. But this year's syllabus has changed completely. So if you haven't checked out the updated pattern yet, you go and watch the previous video where I've broken it down completely, explaining the new syllabus and preparation strategy. You can watch it after this video. So today we are focusing entirely on the GK and current affairs section. We'll break down the GK and current affairs section so you know exactly where MPSC is interested. Now let's look at this table. At first glance, it might look like a lot of numbers, but don't worry, by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to use this information. On the left side, you can see different GK subjects: history, science and environment, geography, economy and banking, polity, current affairs, and static GK and sports. Across the top, you can see different MPSC LDA examinations, and on the extreme right is the total number of questions asked from each subject across all these papers. Remember one thing while watching this analysis: our goal is not to predict the exact question that will appear in 2026. That's impossible. So our goal is to identify the pattern, because the pattern helps us decide where to spend more time and where not to over invest our preparation. So now let's walk through the numbers from the left to right, and you'll immediately notice something crucial. MPSC does not follow a fixed template. Every exam paper has completely different personality. Now look at this subject row on the left: history, science, geography, economy, polity, current affairs, static GK. Now look at the first exam column, LDA 2023, and look at this economy and banking. It single-handedly swallowed 22 out of 38 questions here. Meanwhile, history got 0 in this year. So if you walk into the exam room thinking weightage is distributed equally, you would have been in trouble. Jump to the next exam, the LDA 2 Head of Department 2 paper in 2023. Total questions jumped to 59. And look at the star of the show. Science and environment hit massive 22 questions. Geography back up with 10. So MPSC loves shifting the goalpost between papers, which is why focusing just one or two subjects is a huge gamble. In the direct MPSC LD exam right after, the pattern shift again. Total questions set at 50, but current affairs skip sharply to 14 questions, while science and GK held steady. This proves you cannot afford to skip your monthly current affairs right before test day. Fast forward to November 24. Here, geography took the lead with 12 questions, closely backed by static GK at 11, and history suddenly showed a comeback with 10 questions. As you can see here, the board love to mix things up, cycling high weightage domain between geography, science, and static GK till now. And now look at the October 2023 paper. Out of 50 questions, static GK and sports completely dominated with 17 questions combined with science and current affairs. These three subjects swallowed the entire paper. Now let's zoom out to the big picture on the far right. Across all the exam and 247 total questions was the actual game plan. Science and environment issued absolute #1 priority overall, setting at 53 questions based on the analysis. Right on its heel is static GK and sport with 47 questions, and economy and banking stands strong at 100 questions, largely driven by those heavy outliner papers. Even subjects like polity, which look low at 16 questions in total, can pop up unexpectedly in any individual notification. Now, let's talk about something that honestly left me confused while analyzing the previous paper. So if you're preparing for the MPSC LDA exam, you now have only 27 days left, and if you're someone who is struggling to complete the GK section, don't panic. At this stage, starting a completely new GK book is probably not the best strategy. Let me show you why. This is one of the most popular GK book used by competitive exam aspirants. It contains around 14,000 MCQs. It's an excellent book, but with only 27 days left, Is it realistic to finish it? Honestly, no. That's exactly why I have been working on something different. Instead of asking you to go through thousands of questions, I have carefully shortlisted the most important and most frequently repeated questions by analyzing the previous year questions and compiling content from two different GK books into a single and organized ebook. History will be in one PDF, science in one PDF, polity, geography, and economy, and the rest all arranged subject wise so you can revise quickly without wasting time searching through different multiple books. My goal is not to replace standard GK book. Those books are excellent if you have 8 or 9 months to prepare, but with only 27 days remaining, your strategy has to change. Right now, revision and smart selection of topics matter much more than trying to read everything. The ebook is almost ready. I'm just doing one final round of proofreading to remove any mistakes before I share it with you. It should be available within next 2 to 3 days. So if you would like to get it as soon as it release, make sure you join the WhatsApp channel. That's where I will share all the updates. The link is given in description. I genuinely hope this resource saves your time and helps you make the most of these final days before the examination. The section is called current affairs. Naturally, every aspirant assume it means a recent event or a news from last few months or maybe last year. But when I analyzed the 2023 MPSC LDA paper, I found questions based on events from several years earlier. That raises a genuine concern. Now look at these questions. It was asked in 2023 LDA exam. Now tell me one thing, where should we include these questions? Should we include in history or current affairs? If events from many years ago are being asked, then where exactly do we draw the line? How far back should an aspirant prepare? 1 year, 2 year, 5 years? There is no clear guidance. Personally, I feel that this creates unnecessary confusion for candidates. If an examination includes a current affairs section, it helps everyone when the scope is reasonably clear. Otherwise, aspirants end up spending months trying to cover an almost endless timeline. Of course, MP has the authority to decide its question pattern, and we are not here to question that. So what should you do? Based on this trend, don't restrict yourself to only the most recent current affairs. If possible, revise important events from the last 1 or 2 years as well, especially major award appointment, government schemes, important events, international summits, and important Meghalaya related development. Is it possible to cover everything? Honestly, no. Current affairs is simply too vast, as I already said in the previous video. That's why don't make the mistake of spending all your time chasing news. Build a strong foundation in static science, GK, geography, history, and other subjects. Then prepare current affairs consistently alongside them. Remember, competitive exams are not about attempting every single question correctly. They are about scoring more marks than the other candidate. So, what is the takeaway for August 22 and for the upcoming LDA exam? Stop treating every subject equally, since science and environment, static GK, geography, history form a heavy backbone of this paper. So if this analysis gave you a clear roadmap for your preparation, hit the like button and drop a comment if you have a question. So study smart, stay consistent. I'll catch you in the next video.